U.S. Naturalization Interview. Listening and speaking practice. Includes N-400 sentences and words. Number 3. N-400 Part 7 through 11. In the previous 2 videos, I described some questions and keywords from Form N-400 Parts 1 through 6 that the officer might say to you during the interview. Today, we will describe Form N-400 Parts 7 through 11. Example applicant information. Height, 5'5". Weight, 128 pounds. Eye color, black. Hair color, black. Race/origin, Hispanic. Current work occupation, cashier, for about 5 years. Trip history outside the United States. One time, outside the U.S. for 30 days, went to Mexico and visited parents. Is married, spouse has green card, has work, has one son was born in the United States. Form N-400 Part 7. Biographic Information. About your height, weight, eye color, hair color, race, and whether you are Hispanic or Latino. How tall are you? What is your height? I'm 5'5". How much do you weigh? What is your weight? I'm 128 pounds. What is your eye color? What color are your eyes? Black. What is your hair color? What color is your hair? Black. Are you Hispanic or Latino? Yes, I'm Hispanic. What is your race? What race are you? I'm Hispanic. Form N-400 Part 8. Information about your employment and schools you attended. If you work, you must remember information about the company: name, address, employer's name, and your occupation. If you don't work, you must answer, who supports you? And, do you receive any public benefits? How do you support yourself? I work. Or, my husband supports me. Do you receive any public benefits? No, I don't. My husband supports me. Are you working now? Do you work? Are you currently working? Are you currently employed? Yes, I am. What is your occupation? What is your work? What is your job? What do you do for your company? What job do you have there? What kind of work do you do? I am a cashier. What is the name of your work company? Can you tell me where you work? At what place do you work? Where do you currently work? Please tell me your employer's address. In the last 5 years, where have you been employed? I work at. How many years have you worked in this company? How long have you been working there? How long have you worked there? About 5 years. Are you still working with the same company? Yes. What is your current employer's name? Can you please give me your employer's name? Who is your current employer? Who do you work for? His name is... Have you had any other jobs? Where have you worked in the last 5 years? No, I haven't had any other jobs. I've worked at the same place. Have you been attending school full-time or part-time during the last 5 years? No. Form N-400 Part 9. Time outside the United States. In the last 5 years, how many total days have you traveled outside the United States? Each time you traveled, when did you leave and return? How many days did you spend outside the U.S.? For what purpose? Where did you go? Have you traveled abroad in the last 5 years? Have you traveled outside the United States in the last 5 years? Have you taken any trips outside of the U.S. in the past 5 years? Yes, I have. Have you ever left the United States since you became a permanent resident? Have you ever left the United States since you got your green card? Yes, I have. Have you taken any trips outside of the United States since you submitted your Form N-400? Have you taken any trips since you applied for citizenship? No, I haven't. So you didn't have any trips outside of the U.S. since you've applied? No, I haven't. How many trips did you take? How many trips did you have? How many trips have you taken in the last 5 years? I've had 1 trip. How many times have you left the United States since you got your green card? 1 time. How many trips have you taken outside of the United States? I took 1 trip. Your application says here that you have made 1 trip outside of the United States. Is that correct? Yes, it's correct. How many total days did you spend outside the United States during the last 5 years? How many total days were you outside of the U.S.? 30 days. How long did you stay on each trip? About 1 month. Were any of your trips for 6 months or more? Did any of your trips last 6 months or longer? No. If you answer yes, why was your trip longer than 6 months? You must answer. Where did you go? Which country did you visit? Mexico. Why did you go there? What was the purpose of this trip? What were your reasons for leaving the United States? I visited my parents. When was your last trip outside the United States? 2 years ago. Do you remember the date you left and returned to the United States? Tell me about your last trip. When did you leave? When did you return? Yes, I do. I left on. I returned on. Form N-400 Part 10. Information about your marital history. If you're single and have never married, go to Part 11. If you are married, remember the date and address you entered into marriage, all of your current spouse's personal information, name, date of birth, address, employer, date that spouse became U.S. citizen, or your spouse's nationality and green card information. If you have married more than one time, you must also remember your previous spouse's personal information. Have you ever married? Are you currently married? What is your current marital status? Are you currently single, married, divorced, or widowed? I am married. Are you married? Yes. When did you get married? What is your date of marriage? On what date did you get married? I got married on. Where did you get married? I got married in. Please show me your marriage certificate. You should show the officer your marriage certificate. What is your spouse's name? Can you tell me the first name of your husband/wife? His name is. Her name is. When is your spouse's birthday? What is the date of birth of your husband or wife? His date of birth is. Her date of birth is. What country is your spouse from? What is the country your husband or wife is from? My husband/wife is from. Where was your spouse born? What is your spouse's country of origin? My spouse was born in. Where does your spouse live? What is your spouse's home address? It is. Do you live together? Does your husband or wife live with you? Yes, we live together. What is your spouse's immigration status? He is a lawful permanent resident. When did he or she become a permanent resident? It was on. Is your spouse a U.S. citizen? Yes, he is a United States citizen. Yes, she is a U.S. citizen. When did he or she become a U.S. citizen? It was on. What is your spouse's current job? What does your spouse do? He is a. She is a. Where does your spouse currently work? Is your spouse working now? He works at. She works at. How long has your spouse been working there? It's been. He has been working there since. How many times have you been married? Only one time. Have you previously married? Were you married before? No, I have only married one time. Do you have any prior spouses? Do you have any prior wives or husbands? If you have any prior spouses, please remember all of his or her personal information, because the officer will ask for his personal information. Was your spouse married before? No. How many times has your present spouse been married? One time. Form N-400, Part 11. Information about your children. If you have children, remember each kid's personal information, including stepchildren or adopted children. Do you have any kids? Do you have children? How many children do you have? Yes, I have one son. Are your children biological to you? Yes. What is your children's relationship to you? I am the biological mother of my son. What is his name? My son's name is. When was he born? My son was born on. What is his birthday? What is his date of birth? His birthday is. Where was your son born? My son was born in. Does he currently live with you? Yes. Are your children U.S. citizens or permanent residents? My son is a U.S. citizen. Do you live together or plan on living together? Yes. Do you have any stepchildren or adopted children? No, I don't. Do you have any children from previous marriages? No, I don't have any. Does your spouse have any previous children? No. Now all the sentences and words of N-400 Part 1 through 11 have been explained. Later, I will do some mock interviews to help you learn. Please subscribe and watch it. Thank you and good luck.